What's up, guys? It is your boy MOJO Moses. Yes, so you already know who it is. Anyways, today I'm reviewing the remake, remaster, reimagined, whatever you want to call it, game of Ratchet and Clank. The remake, I prefer to call it remake, for the PS4. A wonderful fucking game. Wonderful fucking game, by the way. Just to jump ahead. Um, God, where do I start? Anyways. Let's just start with something simple. From what I see here, they didn't change the story around too much. Not everything is exactly the same. I don't remember Dr. Nefarious being in the game. But everything else really seems to be there, so they added in a few things here and there. As one would say, touching it up and making it better. I guess it's, we don't play Ratchet and Clank games really for the story, although you do tend to enjoy the humor in the game. I've caught myself chuckling a couple of times, though it is a bit kiddish, though. So try to remember, this is still a kid game. It's not really like Sunset Overdrive. I don't know if you guys played those, but that was more mature jokes. This is just like a toned down version of it. Still, will make you laugh, but don't expect, shit in your pants from laughter. Anyways, so yeah, the story, it's this, the way the game plays throughout the, with the story and the campaign, it's really nice. It turned out to be all right, like I said, they didn't change too much, but the game, when you come back and you play it again, and you're thinking, wow, though, because everything looks different. As you can see, this is clearly not the same game, you know, but not in a bad way, in a really good fucking way, where they just took everything and just made it better. As simply as that. The gameplay, where do I start, man? The gameplay is obviously, I should have just started with the gameplay. Gameplay, yeah, I bored you guys with the story. The gameplay is by far the best part about the game. Tons and tons of weapons. I believe, my favorite ones ended up being the Razor Blade one, and then the Rhino, which is the weapon that you collect after you get all the cards. You end up getting that one. The weapons are pretty OP after playing, plus mode a couple of times, because there is a plus mode for when you beat the game. So, it just doesn't end after you beat it. You can have a little fun with it afterwards. Continue to level up your weapons, which you can, and then, later on you'll get mods. Each level upgrade that you get. And I gotta say, though, the weapons are very distinctive from each other. I mean, you have Dr. Zircon, who flies over your shoulder. You have the Apocalypse, little drones where you throw them and they, scatter. The Groovitron, which tended to be, I think people, that was a pretty popular weapon, the Groovitron. I'd say definitely helpful too, because it stops the enemies and then they start to get their boogie on, if you know what I mean. But I say, like, the Pixelator, which is a weapon I probably would have never thought I'd see in the game. Literally turns the enemy into little bits of 8-bit. So as you can see here, the weapons are distinctive from each other, and that's a really nice thing that they have, because, again, like any other Ratchet and Clank game, or as any other Sunset Overdrive game, which has only been one, I'd have to say they did a good fucking job with on their weapons department and adding a lot of creativity. So they get a fucking A+ for that. It's just something that you can really appreciate in the game. And there's also these dumb puzzles. I mean, they're pretty simple. Once after you do a couple, you get used to it. Nothing too fancy. Although you can press the auto hack, but I recommend you not, because then you won't get the trophy for auto hacking. I mean, for hacking everything without using the auto hack. And on top of that, you miss out on some opportunity to level up with bolts. Like bolts are your main thing in this game, because you go around. And I didn't really think to bring this up, but yeah, if you haven't played a Ratchet and Clank game, or if you haven't seen any of the gameplay, you could obviously tell that the bolts are very important. The little bits that drag towards you. When you're playing the game, and you just, every time you defeat an enemy or smash a box, that's what you get. You use those and to buy weapons, upgrade, and do all sorts of things with them. Gameplay is pretty fucking smooth. It's not 60 frames, it's 30 frames, what I say for a 30 frames per second game. It's not too bad. It definitely runs smooth. There's not really much latency, not many bugs. The levels designs are amazing in this game. I say that's another thing that's really up there with the how do you say, what was it, weapons, yeah. I was just talking about that a second ago. The level design and its openness and its exploration and its platforming, it's really all put together well. And there are 10 planets that you can visit in this game, although, really 9, because the first one, you don't really tend to go back to that one, there's nothing special there. But, and then you get to the planetizer, which, not really a planet, but it's the weapon, the main thing in this game that Dr. Nefarious created to destroy worlds, which you're trying to prevent. You and the Rangers, especially Quark, he's a fucking goofball. But yeah, you get to meet all the characters when you play the game. So anyways, like, the level design is nice, the levels actually turned out to be, quite large, bigger than I thought. There's certain parts where, like, in the levels where you get to use Clank, he's for the smaller bits, though he's not around too often though, but he's around a good portion of, I'd say around, 20% of the time you'll get a chance to use Clank. He has some really cool moments out there with some puzzles, and nothing special where you get to use weapons. It's just old school platforming, jump and smash basically. And then, of course, if you're not an idiot, you'll do fine with Clank's puzzles that he has to go through too, though they are a bit more clever than the hack machine that you have to have. Lots of cool weapons, grind railing, there's jetpacks, fucking graviton boots where you get to run up the walls and all that stuff. Enemies are pretty distinctive and pretty well drawn and really nice. You got guys in helicopters, you got these little green things that they keep coming. Basically the Blarg has a nice arsenal of robots and minions, idiots if you want to call them. All really nice, man. And the last thing I want to finish off here is just the graphics. The graphics, again, really, really, really amazing graphics in my opinion. I think it's probably one of the best animated type art style that you can get from a game like this, a platforming game. It's definitely looks better than Knack, and if you like the way Sunset Overdrive looked, you're gonna like the way Ratchet and Clank looks. Though Sunset Overdrive probably is a little more prettier game because of all the colors and shit, and you can see the whole world of Ratchet and Clank's graphics. The models and the level design and all, I think it does beat it out. But I'm just giving you an idea of how great they are. I wouldn't say they're exactly like Pixar graphics, like some people misinterpret it somehow because they're stupid and illiterate. But it is Pixar-like, kind of, to a certain extent. But don't let that, don't let that hold back. I mean, we're not even at the stage of Pixar graphics. Let me just say that, but the graphics itself are amazing though, and look really, really, really nice on your TV. And that's really all I really got to say about the game. I mean, for $40, what can I say? I definitely recommend it. I had to say Ratchet and Clank, I'm going to give it an 8.5, and that's usually the number that I'm starting to realize. That's the number I usually tend to throw out. I know Sunset Overdrive got an 8.5, Shadow Motor 8.5 this game. Another, Mojo, another 8.5. I know, it's another 8.5 for me, but, this is definitely, to some people, just to understand my versions of 8.5s, or an 8, or even a 7.5, which wouldn't even be bad. They're not bad. You see, back in our day, 7 was a good score, actually. So when you hear 8.5 from me, don't get cautious, alright? Trust me, for $40, this is the best $40 you could fucking spend. And if I were you, I would definitely spend the fork up to $40, for this game. And if you have an Xbox and a PlayStation, if it came down between the two exclusives that just, came out, Quantum Break and Ratchet and Clank, just choose Ratchet and Clank, alright? Be a man and pick the kid game. Anyways, it's your boy MLJ, Mojo Siesta. You guys have a good one, and cheers to you. You guys have a good one. Peace.